Hi everybody, let's try this again.
We have had some technical difficulties and we are now on. We have several internet services that we use, and we're now using our son Caleb's. It has to go through the least amount of walls to get to his internet service. Ours had to go through, I think, 3 brick walls, and it just couldn't do it to get to our front porch.
So hopefully this will work. We've had a fantastic week. Hey Jen, so nice to see you. We've had a fantastic, and Kim, hello.
Hey, we're getting people tuning in.
We've had a fantastic week loving on our grandbaby. I'm telling you, grandchildren are the best. For those of you who don't, hey Christine, for those of you who don't have grandkids, we love it. In fact, last night our granddaughter slept at our house by herself. First sleepover.
No. With Grandma and Grandpa.
It was fun. But we.
Hey, let me talk about Petty.
Yes,
I wasn't
you can.
intending to do this, but you raised the issues. I got to talk about my granddaughter.
Sure.
But my granddaughter really didn't like me for about 2 or 3 days. I was the scary old black guy. And but she warmed up to me, and I remember my Uncle Bob telling me when I was young, just leave little kids alone, sit in their presence, don't make rush movements, and eventually they'll start to warm up to you and like you. And that's what I did. And by a week later, she was like, I'd walk in the room and she'd point at me and she'd start talking to me and she'd ask for me to pick her up, and we went and played.
It was nice. It was fun to see her warm up. Hey, John Osborne. Hey, Barry, Rosie, and Alba. So glad you guys are joining us. Well, we have some real exciting news that we want to share with you guys tonight. I know those of you who've been following us for several months now, really almost a year.
We've been trying to get this nonprofit off the ground,
Right.
and in many ways it's gone slow. The work is always there, but to get it organized has taken a lot of energy, and we really haven't had a lot of resources to work with. We've constantly been working in humility and creativity.
But several months ago, in fact, one of the things that are, and those of you who are in ministry, I know you get this, and those of you who are not, let me just open up the windows a bit and share a little bit. One of the things that's really hard when you're giving your heart and your soul and your time and your energy in ministry, it's hard to do all the back office things that are so necessary. That's why a lot of times people partner with a church, or they partner with a mission organization that can help do some of those things.
Can you explain what back office is? Because some people might not know what that means.
Back office is like all your receiving your funding, keeping you all the administrative things to keep your organization organized, as far as like sending letters out, tax deduction things. I mean, I don't know.
All the legal hoops that have to be hopped through.
So, hey, Lisa. All the way from Australia. Woohoo! We've got Australians in the house.
Very good.
Well, anyway, all of that stuff is very challenging to do simultaneously when you're doing all the other things that we're doing.
Of meeting people, going to all these diaspora functions, supporting them, doing some mentoring, some teaching, writing, trying to form partnerships, just trying to live too.
Yeah. So, several months ago, I was doing some research online, trying to look for some different organizations that maybe could help us with this. And I found an organization here in Wheaton. I actually found several, but as I was researching, I found this one organization which I thought was really good, traded a few emails with them, set up an appointment. Meanwhile, my mother got very, very sick, and I had to fly down. This was the night before she passed away. And while I was in with my dad and my sister and my brother, I obviously had to miss the meeting. But Dave was here, and he went to the meeting. And the exciting thing was when he can share a little bit more with you.
You want to tell you the name of the organization?
Yes. So the name of the organization is called Faith and Learning International. And come to find out,
I walk into the meeting.
Yeah, so Dave can share.
I'm only going to say a few things.
Yeah.
Overall, Jana's going to do the talking this time. But I walked into the meeting. It was kind of a little awkward because they were expecting Jana. Here comes me, old white guy. What's going on? You know, you should be cautious about old white guys. And I get in and start talking, and met a man named Brad and a woman. I've already forgotten her name. Vicky Bailey was one of the people on the list. And anyway, Brad, I tell a little bit about ourselves, and he says, well, I was in Rwanda, and I start telling a little more. He says, well, I actually worshiped with Christ Church of Rwanda when I was there, and I was checking out their partners. And one of the things that has been a bit of a struggle, I hope this isn't sounding prideful, but Jana grew up in Kenya. We lived a long time in Uganda. We did a long time in Rwanda. And we're known figures in those three countries. We get off the airplane and we start knowing people, and people know who we are. And as we've tried to get started in Chicago, people don't know us. They don't know who we are. And then many times we find as we try to get started, people have preconceived ideas about Africa or what African missions looks like, and we don't fit the preconceived ideas. So it's just a lot of re-education that has to happen, but people aren't giving us enough time to do the re-education.
And what was so neat is this guy had just been in Kigali, and he saw KICS, and he saw which was the international school that we helped to get started, and he saw CCR,
Christ Church Rwanda, the school, the church we started. So there's like this credibility going, oh wow, you're the guy who got this off the ground. I'm going, well, we were a catalyst. God worked through us, a lot of people, but we were the vision bearer of those.
Yeah. So it was just exciting to already be talking to an organization. And so what this organization does is, we've been in the process of trying...
Can I add a little bit more?
Yes, you can.
Okay, and then they started explaining what they were doing, and they started listing basically a back office for small Christian nonprofits that are focused on missions. And as they started telling me who the projects were, I knew 7 of the people. 4 of them, I'd say, were really, really good friends of mine. The kind of people that I had been in their homes or they had been in my homes. Sometimes we had worked together on common projects. And I was like, hey, 2 or 3 witnesses, I know 7 and 4 of these people are good friends, and the other 3 just have never had enough opportunity to get to know them that well.
So that was exciting. We had people that we could reach out to and find out, hey, how's this organization partnered with you? How did you find it? And everyone who wrote back just said so many really positive things. So we started the process of applying, and actually what the official term that is used is called
fiscal sponsorship.
Fiscal sponsorship. So they are the fiscal, sorry, I'm not saying it right. The fiscal sponsorship of this organization, and we've had to change our name. I was so in love with Doc, but sometimes you have to
work with what systems are and let things go.
So our new name, Dave will say it.
East African Diaspora Community.
So let's all say it together.
East African Diaspora Community.
That's what we're called. And for short,
EADC.
EADC. So
I wish I could come up with a cute little song, but I haven't got to that point
yet. EADC, maybe. I don't know. We'll see if it catches on. But anyway, we're super excited. So we started the process of applying, and it was a lot. We had to send in lots of information.
It was about a day's work of filling out all the forms and answering all the questions.
And we did that, and their board sat and met and decided, yes, they wanted to partnership with us. So we were super excited. And then after that, I had to revamp our web page that had already been...
Can I also add something I wanted to add?
Sure, love.
I'm sorry that I'm interjecting, because Jana worked really hard. But not only do we have EADC, we're underneath Faith and Learning. We're a project of theirs. But the pragmatics of it, of how do you manage this whole thing, we had to put together an advisory committee, which basically functions like the board of EADC. It's those that we're accountable for, those we go to advise. We've got 7 people on our EADC advisory committee, and they're really, really sharp. No, actually it's 5 people, but husband and wife couple, we're all meeting together. Really, really sharp people. I wonder if I should go through and list them all, or if I should just say they're sharp people.
We will be sharing more of that information in the weeks to come. In fact, what I'd really like to do is interview each of the couples here. We'll bring them on. I know some of them are watching right now. You can be prepared to be brought on.
Oh, my wife has good ideas.
Facebook Live in the future. So we basically want to get the information out to you that we are partnering with this organization called Faith and Learning, and we have a giving page set up. So now if people want to become partners, or the term that we're wanting to use is...
You've been wanting to use the term patron.
Patron. A patron will be somebody who's wanting to give on a monthly basis, which is super, super helpful. Or if you can only give one time, you can do that too. So if you'd prefer to give by checks, that's fine, or you can give online. We're going to be putting all the links to this, and like I said, the web page is up and running, so you'll get to see that, and I'll attach that after we're done with this live, and you can see more of the things that we're involved in and that we're up to. So one of the neat things is that we were trying to figure out where there's so many different projects that they're involved in Africa, in South America, in the U.S., and I can't remember all the different areas, but you can see when you go and check them out. So we were trying to figure out, where are we going to put East Africa Diaspora Community? Our first initial thing was to put it in Africa, but yet the diaspora East Africans are all over the world. Yeah. So in the end, with their advice and our rethinking, we've decided to become a worldwide. And this really gets into our broad vision, which we'll be sharing more. But really, Dave and I could be based anywhere where diaspora people are living. So we're really excited about that.
In fact, let me give just a little illustration. This past Sunday, I preached a sermon at Cornerstone Christian Church in Glen Ellen, Illinois. And Jana put it on Facebook Live as I got started, and the people started making comments. And the first one, well, I'm not sure if it was the first one, but we had one comment that came from Spain, one comment that came from Kigali, Rwanda, one comment that came from Kampala, Uganda, and another one that came from Seattle, Washington. Those were the first comments. I'm watching this right now, and I've seen friends pop up in the United States and friends pop up in Australia. Jan and I's network is global, and the diaspora networks that we know are global people. They're scattered all over the United States, Canada, Western Europe, into Asia, Middle East, worldwide.
And just a reminder for those of you who might be jumping on this bandwagon new, this is what we've been involved in really our whole ministry life. We've been working with East Africans, and since we've been in the U.S., we have been continuing working with East Africans who are living in diaspora. And we've tried to do other things along with that, but in the last year we have really decided just to put our whole heart into this, and that's why we've started this nonprofit. So things have been going. We had I want to do a little report about a week ago. We had a really good event that we did for the Rwandan community and others.
We did a Kwibuka 25, a commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi. And again, it was a really interesting. We hosted it at Judson University. We had some very, very thoughtful speakers.
It was fabulous. If you weren't able to attend, please take time to watch it. We've had quite a number of views of it already, but you would definitely be blessed to listen to the different East Africans that really shared. So that was neat. I'm trying to think what other things we want to share. If you guys can help us out and share this video with your friends, we would really appreciate that. We really want to get this information out, and we also want to say thank you. Last week, Dave got on his Facebook and he shared about our car being broken down, and so many people from our diaspora friends sent us money. People from Kenya, missionaries all over the world have really rallied, and we want to say thank you.
Thank you.
And it's not just the money, but sometimes when you're serving on the mission field, and even though we're in the States, we are serving on the mission field, you can feel alone, you can feel vulnerable, and it's nice to know that there are people out there that care about us and that are praying for us, and it really, really means a lot. Anything else you want to share, love?
How about I just summarize? But our big announcement is we have formed a partnership with Faith and Learning International. We are a project of theirs called East Africa Diaspora Community. Jana will in a short time be putting up the links, and if you want to make a donation online, just follow the links or write a check to East African Diaspora Community. And we have a fabulous advisory committee. Jana's got a good idea. I think we'll announce them one by one and interview them, so you'll get a feel for who we're laboring with.
Yeah, but we're excited. You know, we can't do this alone. What we're doing, we don't do it alone. We need community, and we also need you guys. And we appreciate you taking time. We're going to be short tonight. I know sometimes we can go on. And so we just wanted to be brief and kind of get that information out there. And I'll add all the links. And please check out our website. And please check out Faith and Learning.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll also make a direct link to our giving page. And we'll just see what God does with all this. We're excited.
God's
you guys have
blessings on your evening.
great evening. Bye.